The name is Law Nation. Sports, let's continue to grind to shine. We're going to talk about several things today. Happy Friday to you and you. Cowboys must-win game, right? Either you in it or you're out of it. That's just what it is. The reality of it. It's impossible to not dodge it, right? You got to face it. And one thing we all adore, something worth dying for. There's nothing but pain. We stuck in this game, searching for fortune and fame. Let's go. Must win, baby. Let's go.
21. Can you do something for me? Can you talk to the ops next for me? Okay. 21.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So it look like I'm gonna be around here for a while. I ain't trying to be a daddy.
What's good?
But if you need some advice, feel free to talk to me.
What's good? Talk to me, Cowboy Nation. All right, so the name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let a friend or a neighbor know when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond. Cowboy Nation. All right, so I got a lot of things we got to talk about. But first and foremost, shout out to the first team All-Pros like my guy Cavante Turpin. Shout out to him. Shout out to my guy Zach Martin. And also shout out to second team All-Pro. I believe his name is of the CD Lamb, right? And we're going to talk about this. Shout out to Eastside Hero. I see you, man. Shout out to you, one of the first ones in here. He a diehard Cowboy fan. Georgie, appreciate you. Thank you. Alex Greer, thank you. Jay Versick, appreciate you. And if you're live on the Facebook, I really, really appreciate y'all so much, man, for tuning in. Big Dial, what's good with you? Thank y'all for tuning in for this episode on this beautiful Friday. All right. Playoff starts tomorrow, right? So somebody going to have their hearts broken tomorrow, right? Somebody's going to be sitting here angry and upset by tomorrow, right? That's how it go. And then the next day, Sunday, somebody going to be hard upset on that day. And then Monday night football, baby. Somebody gonna be angry. Somebody gonna be upset a little bit, right? That's just how it goes. Eastside, I know you're a Cowboy fan, man. I know you are, man. I know you are. I saw you. You can't hide it. You can't hide it, you know? You can't hide it. I saw him early this morning as I was washing my face and brushing my teeth. He was in the chat area on 105.3 The Fan. So I know who you are. You are. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't say you're not. You can't, Eastside. Let me give you an analogy before I go forward. You know. Oh, man, I ain't in the male strip clubs, man. That would be G-A-Y. That would be G-A-Y. But somehow the male strip club get rated, and he's there. And he got rated 2 times, he's there. So, and he got rated 3 times, he's there. So, if you said you're not a fan of the male strippers, why you always there, you know? You don't have to lie to kick it, man. We know what you like, you know. I can't make this stuff up, you know, but it is what it is. Hey, man, I don't like to see male strippers. Well, why you work there? Why you there? Why you there all the time? You're present, you know. I would understood. Literally, Eastside Harold, I would literally understood if you somehow went into the room by accident, right? It was by accident. I didn't know Chip and Dale. I thought it was for the Chipmunks, not that. You know, I didn't know it was Chocolate City for the swing, you know. But somehow you got VIP tickets, you got drink specials, and you're ordering oodles and noodles there. All right, man, I'm going to leave you alone, man. But stay out of them strip clubs, man. I'm too wrong. I'm too wrong for him, man. Yes, indeed, man. He gonna be like, man, I'm gonna go and get up out of here, man. Law getting in on me, man. How y'all doing, though, man? Let me play this audio right quick, and so the Eastside Herald can listen to the Cowboys talk about, whether or not we can win a playoff game or not. Y'all put your hands together for Eastside, though,
Didn't hold back his comments about the snub, tweeting this yesterday. Man, I'm in playoff mode. Bump that list. Congrats to those that made it, though. They deserve it.
Yeah.
Dan the Man, where are you? Was this fair reaction by Michael Parsons?
I love Micah. Great player.
Yep.
But I believe Nick Bosa and Myles Garrett are the two players that made it ahead of him. Nick Bosa leads the NFL in sacks, and he's second in the NFL in TFLs, tackle for losses. Myles Garrett is second in the NFL in sacks and fourth in tackle for losses. Micah, I think, is like 7th in sacks and 15th in TFL. So, phenomenal player. Tailed off a little bit at the end of the season, but Bosa and Garrett making it ahead of him aren't this list that we have to flip out about as I can't believe they left Micah off.
All right, let me talk about this right quick. All right, so Michael Parsons left off the list. He says, man, I'm in the playoff mode. Bump all of that, bump that list basically. Congrats to those that made it, though. They deserve it, right? Now, that is every indications that this dude is pissed off, right? He's mad, he's angry, but he's going to focus his frustration out on the playoff games. Now, one thing I can tell y'all for sure, let me play this audio right here. Yeah, when that line mad, man. Ain't that right, Eastside? My thing is, when we look at all of this and we say about these type of things, what Parsons really bring to the table, how the world Parsons is left off of this list, I can tell you guys right now, he's not an edge rusher. Let me repeat. Michael Parsons is not an edge rusher. He's not a defensive edge rusher. I would love for Myles Garrett to be here. I would love to have a Nick Bosa here. But those guys play different type of positions than what we see out of Michael Parsons. Now, can he play edge? Yeah. Is the system uniquely built for him? No. Now, the size of Parsons, in order for him to be elevated and to be in the conversations of like the edge rushers, we would primarily have to play 3-4 defense. Can anyone point out where do we play 3-4 defense at? We play a hybrid big nickel look. And I know for a third of the people, they will say, hey, man, that sounds like bevy of excuses. Where are the results? Where are the multitudes of sacks? Because when he gets sacks, you guys going to go around saying that he got all of these sacks. No. You put Parsons remember what Khalil Mack did when he was in the 3-4 system? Parsons is a better Khalil Mack. Remember what T.J. Watt been doing in all of those years? 3-4. He was the reason why we didn't draft T.J. Watt, right? We didn't draft T.J. Watt because of our system. We played a 4-3 defense. Tampa 2. And they said that Taco would be better because of his size and his length, 4-4-3. Which we were all wrong on that, right? I was banging on the table, pump all that. Let's just go get TJ, right? I don't care how short his arms are, right? The dude make plays. But it's all designed for the scheme and system you in, right? So Parsons is a hybrid guy that plays around the LOS, but his primary goal should be linebacker.
Well, first of all, let's understand and quote Michael Parsons accurately. He wasn't complaining about the people on the list ahead of him. What he was saying is bleep all of that. I don't care about all of that because I'm trying to win a championship. So I applaud his response. He didn't fail to give credit where credit is due to those who made the list. He recognized their greatness and their impact and that fact that they were worthy of it. He didn't question.
My bad, Beast Mode. Oh, you hit me where it hurt it now, dog. Come on, Beast Mode. He says, only 1 inch different between Taco and TJ. We all seen the tape on TJ. We all knew. Like we as Cowboys people sitting on our couch. Like, hey, man. Hey, Taco, he's good with what he was doing in Michigan. But he ain't no TJ Watt. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would have took a flyer on TJ Watt just because of what his brother was doing, you know. But it is what it is. But sometimes things happen for different reasons, right? So shout out to TJ Watt for what he did over there in Steelers country. But for the Cowboys, we don't play a 3-4 style of defense. And I think that whatever number you put it down on paper that the T.J. Watts or Khalil Macks are doing in their respective systems before Khalil Mack went to Chicago or what have you, and wherever I think he's in Chargers now, right? Parsons would be even better. Oh, Lord, you just Cowboy blue talking. Nah. I'm not Cowboy Homer talking. Sean D says TJ is a dog. Taco is not. Right. There's no way to refute that, right? We all know. So that's why I say pick player over scheme or system. Pick the player. Trust your eyes and what you see with the tape. Soft Taco, yeah. Let me play the rest of this audio.
Anything like that. All he was saying is, yo, man, I ain't got time for all of this right now. Don't come to me with this nonsense about some list. It's the best thing. This is why the Dallas Cowboys are so lucky to have him. Because this brother is there to win championships. If the Dallas Cowboys win a championship in the foreseeable future, Michael Parsons is going to be the biggest reason why. Because that's the kind of mentality. I'm talking about the mentality. Others might throw or run for touchdown, stuff like that. But he infuses something into their psyche that has been sorely lacking for decades. He's eradicating all of that. They will win a championship one day, and it will be because of that man. It just ain't going to be this year.
Oh, man, come on, man. Nah, he said it, y'all. We finna win it, baby. We gonna win it, baby. He said just not this year. Low-key, Stephen A. Smith is a diehard Cowboy fan. You know, he falls in the lines of Stephen A. Smith falls in the lines of Eastside Harold. I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen A. Smith is Eastside Harold. If Eastside Harold is Stephen A. Smith. It could be. Eastside Harold, you Stephen A. Smith.
It ain't gonna be this year.
Keep crushing your day, buddy. We'll see you down in Tampa.
Wearing hoodies with a blazer.
People like his outfit.
It's probably $5.
I look good.
$5.
Judge Mathis, chill out.
You go home.
The white Urkel. I feel it.
If Mike McCarthy loses that game?
Well, I think they have to have a conversation next week about going forward and whether he's a coach. And Jerry Jones said this week that wasn't the issue, that he's got enough in the bank with Mike McCarthy, and it's not going to be a problem. But I think if they lose this game, there are conversations in the building about whether to move on. And quite frankly, look, I mean, we view the Cowboys as what Jerry says goes, but, you know, he can be talked into things by his football people like that. If it was what Jerry says goes, then Odell Beckham would be on the team right now.
Perhaps.
Right?
So that's an interesting way of looking at it. And again, I mean, what Jerry says, at the end of the day, it does go.
At the end of the day, it's his decision.
But he has, what you're saying is he has been more measured than we usually associate with him in recent years, and that's fair. So the question then becomes, is it fair to say that Mike McCarthy would deserve to lose his job? He's won 12 games each of the last 2 years. They lost a terrible playoff game last year to San Francisco. Again, the way they lost was terrible. If they lose Monday night, Nico, would it be fair for Jerry to say, you know what, I'm making a change?
Yeah, I think it would be fair. You look at this football team, there is a lot of money invested in that quarterback. There's a lot of money invested in their defense. You cannot expect to. Well, we got music playing.
Go ahead.
You can't.
All right, so that's Nikovich, or however you say that man's name. I want to play that audio just for context. Okay, so that's ESPN push. We already heard Fox News push, or Fox people push, to get Mike McCarthy out of the paint. It's a must-win game and all of those things. Now I'm finna flip back over to 105.3 The Fan so we can hear they brought in Stephen A. Smith to talk to those boys over there. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, it was a disadvantage for those boys. None of them had any hot heat or any good rebuttal. Shout out to my guys over there. But Stephen A. Smith, he pretty much walked the dog on those guys over there. And there was really no definitive rebuttal. So I was like, all right, it's just like Mike Tyson beating up a third grader. It was just terrible. But for context, I get it, right? They don't want to rile up a guy that's on national TV. But let's listen in to what they had to say about all of this. Shout out to my guys, though, for 105.3 The Fan. Shout out to Bobby Belt and Sean and RJ. But, if it was a heavyweight championship battle, he owned them. You know what I'm saying?
Laugh, right? So I'm listening to the interview with Jerry talking to y'all, right? And I'm cracking up laughing because I'm like, listen, you got to ask the question. You guys do such a great job. You got to ask the question. And I get that. But you know good and damn well he's lying. Let McCarthy lose this game. You let Mike McCarthy. That's why y'all asked that question. Because y'all know what I know. He better not lose this game. He better not lose this game. Not the way Tampa has looked all year. Not the way they've struggled offensively, how anemic they've been. Not with the stationary target that is the great GOAT 45-year-old quarterback that is Tom Brady. I mean, please. They got loads of pressure. Y'all know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. But Jerry's got to say the right things, and that's what he did. That's why he's Jerry Jones. But he's nervous too, y'all. Y'all saw his face. Y'all saw his face Sunday night after y'all got smacked around by the Commanders. Y'all saw it. That's why y'all had him on that show asking him those questions, because y'all saw what I saw. So the fans can say whatever they want. They can sit up there and say, go ahead, Stephen A., go ahead, Stephen A. But damn it, they nervous too. And by the way, not only am I coming with Michael Irvin, I'm coming with Troy Aikman too, and I'm coming with those videos. Those videos of those Cowboys fans crying last year when San Francisco beat them. I'm coming armed and ready. I can't wait, y'all.
You're
Monday.
Right. You're right.
Tampa.
Ain't a nervous ball over here.
Y'all gonna be there.
We're going to Arizona for the Super Bowl.
I'll be there.
Really?
Bobby will be there. Yeah, we won't.
Bobby will be there, but hey,
let me tell you why.
Law Nation crew, we ain't nervous. We ain't nervous over here.
You nervous too.
Look, we're definitely there's definitely a feeling of nerves in the city. There's no doubt. There's a feeling
the city ain't nervous, man. The wrong person is speaking. The wrong person is speaking right now.
Jerry held on to Garrett way too long, in my opinion. Back-to-back 12-win seasons. I mean, you're so adamant about this. It sounds like you're almost like reporting it versus just giving an opinion.
In all seriousness, fair is fair. I'm not reporting it.
Okay.
If I was reporting it, I would tell you so. Okay. In all seriousness, I'm not. If I was reporting it, I would say sources said blah blah blah. That's not what I'm saying. That's just an opinion. That's all it is. But here's where I truly feel that opinion. Jason Garrett was a Cowboy, man. He was a player. Right. He was a quarterback for the Cowboys, albeit primarily a backup. The guy was an assistant coach. He was the head coach in waiting. If I remember correctly, he damn near was getting paid as much as Wade Phillips was when he was a coordinator as the head coach in waiting. That was a different relationship. He might like Mike McCarthy, okay, and I get that. But McCarthy was in Green Bay all of those years. He won a Super Bowl. He was taking them to the players. He was beating up on the Cowboys from time to time. That ain't the same kind of relationship that existed with Jason Garrett. And
let's go. Appreciate you. B-Wee. Dallas 28, Tampa 19. That's where they're going to stay at. Enough nervousness. It's our time now, baby. Let's go, baby. We ain't never scared. We going to put on for our city over here. Come on.
Jerry Jones. So I don't want to hear that either. This is different. That man got to produce. And oh, by the way, Jerry was considerably younger than my Libra brother. He was my Libra brother. He was considerably younger than. He's 80 now, y'all. Clock's ticking. Yeah. I haven't said that. Jerry said that.
True.
Time's running out. And if you can't get it done, well, guess what? Dan Quinn got him to a Super Bowl, got a team to a Super Bowl before. Yeah, he blew a 25-point lead in the second half against Tom Brady, but he's gone to the Super Bowl before. He's shown that he could be a head coach. He definitely, not the last few weeks, but for the most part, got the defense looking better. He's a viable head coaching candidate in the eyes of the league, so other teams are going to interview him and what have you. This is why he stayed. So he's a prime candidate for the job. Sean Payton, maybe you could convince him not to take the job in L.A. with the Chargers if Brandon Staley wets the bed. Maybe you can convince him to come to Dallas. I don't know. But I do know this. After the way the playoffs ended last year, with y'all not being able to get off a damn play in the last 13 seconds, and a week later, watch the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes march the team downfield and put them in field goal range to push the game into overtime in the same 13 or 14 seconds. With that fallback and the way the penalties played y'all last year, to come into this year, to end the season losing to a third-string quarterback with your starters on the field. And then you go into Tampa with the way Todd Bowles and this team has looked throughout the season, and you going to lose to them?
All right, let me just stop them right quick. Didn't you guys know in the last 3 years, the defense finished behind the Cowboys offense? Oh, yes, I'm going there. I get it. Right now, Dan Quinn is the flavor, the sauce that everybody wants to be as a head coach. Excuse me. That would lay up everything if Dan Quinn is the guy, and everyone makes that this dude, Mike McCarthy, the scapegoat of everything. Then we will all sit back and say, all right, they axed Mike McCarthy, they elevate Dan Quinn, they keep Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator, it'll still be the same issue. I like Dan Quinn. I really do. But he's not head coaching material. I'm going to say it again. I like Dan Quinn, but he's not head coaching material. Head for head or toe for toe, Mike McCarthy is a better overall coach than Dan Quinn. I get it. Dan Quinn, he gives you all of the sauces. I get it. But I don't see a Super Bowl on Dan Quinn's resume as it relates to being a head coach. And excuse me, the game that we lost to the Green Bay Packers, Dak Prescott did throw those interceptions, by the way. But he climbed back and crawled back into the league, right? And we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop a nosebleed. And all of the exotics of, hey, we're going to do a doggone twist stunt up the middle, watch somebody run for 100 yards. Come on, please have that with you. And just as much in that Jacksonville Jaguars game, yes, Dak Prescott threw a pick six. Yes, we see some inefficiencies as it relates to timing and these sorts of things. But last I checked, it was 503 yards the defense gave up. Let me repeat, it was 503 yards the defense gave up. So we got to really pump the brakes on Dan Quinn. I like what he do from an aspect of an individual coaching aspect of that, but come on, ladies and gentlemen. He's not that good or that much better than what we've seen out of Mike McCarthy. He may walk and talk a little bit better, but I will refuse to have the three-letter network to change this or to put the narrative out there that it's all Mike McCarthy's fault. It's all Mike McCarthy's fault. And people are expecting Mike McCarthy to do something that Tom Landry couldn't do. People are expecting Mike McCarthy to do things that Jimmy Johnson couldn't do. People are expecting Mike McCarthy to do things that Bill Parcells couldn't do within the confines of his first 3 years. We are 12-5, 2 years back to back. But what they try to do is put landmines and bombs all over it. That's what they trying to do. They are literally trying to do that. Dan Quinn is at his best when he got the ability to be the hands-on coach and work with those individuals on the defensive side. I don't want Dan Quinn to have multiple hats, worrying about the offense and then worrying about the special team units and then going back and trying to worry about the defense. I need Dan Quinn to focus and just keep his mind on the defense. Let me repeat. I need Dan Quinn to focus and keep his mind on the defense. I don't need to have him with multiple hats. Y'all seen how they ran him out of Atlanta land? They didn't even let him finish his job over there. I don't want you guys to fall into the traps of, hey, Mike McCarthy is this horrid guy. We can see the temperaments and everything being changed. Now, what you need to do, Cowboy Nation, is let that man hire his own guys. Let him have people from his branch, people from his tree, to be on the offensive side of coordinating. But every year, from a stack category, the offense completed from a stat category ranking higher than his defense.
Oh, hell no. I can't believe that Mike McCarthy will keep his job if they lose this game.
Stephen A. Smith, join us here, 105 through the
That's what
Fan.
they
You seem
wanna
very
do.
confident. You care to make it interesting.
What do you mean interesting? What are you implying?
I'm implying. I think you know what I'm implying. I'm implying a little bit of a friendly wager between the.
Oh, okay. I'm listening. Give it to me.
Okay.
Give it to me. Let me see if I'm interested in this.
All right. Let's do this. Okay, so you believe that Mike McCarthy will be fired if they lose. If Mike McCarthy is in fact fired, Sean and I and Bobby will treat you to any
and Michael
Urban to any dinner you want in Phoenix at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But if he's not fired,
any dinner.
Yeah. King is laughing out loud. Law. Mike McCarthy sucks at clock management. So Dan Quinn is great at clock management. 28-3 in the biggest and the brightest of all stages. So we can't have it both ways, right? This defense in that Green Bay Packers game. People go back to looking at those interceptions. That happened in the first half. What the second half? The defense couldn't stop the nosebleed, couldn't slow down Aaron Rodgers. Both parties get a piece of the blame. Dak, Dan Quinn, as well as Mike McCarthy, and you could throw in Kellen Moore. But let's not sit back here and think that it's only on Mike McCarthy.
Dinner you want, price will not be an issue, unless
it's an issue. Price won't be an issue unless it's an issue.
First of all, you don't have to worry about the money. I want to say it's not even about the money. It's the fact that faces and voices of Dallas would have to humble themselves to treat me to this.
And John Ross, that's my whole point. Just for the same breath, Dan Quinn don't play on defense. Neither does Mike McCarthy play on offense. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. What you just put down in the chat. When you are the head coach, so here it is. When you are the head coach, just like I am the head of my house, all of the things fall upon you, right? So we can't say in the Super Bowl all they had to do was run the ball. I'm talking about Dan Quinn now. I like Dan Quinn. I'm not saying that he's trash or horrid. But what I'm saying is that the best way for this team to win for long term is keep things continuity. Keep the continuity going. But so many people are so knee-jerked and so ready to get rid of something because of the four-ladder network saying, hey, it's time to get rid of. It's time to get rid of. How long did LaFleur, what's his name, Matt LaFleur, been over there in Green Bay since Mike McCarthy been gone? How many Super Bowls do they have? How many playoff victories do they have? They're not winning multiple Super Bowls. They got a $50 million quarterback. They had one of the best wide receivers there. They had the third-ranked defense last season. Now, I don't know what their defense was this season, but for dog sure they had a third-ranked defense. Ain't nobody calling for Mike LaFleur's head over there in Green Bay. But all of a sudden, the Cowboys go 12-5, 12-5. I get it, 6-10. The first year for Mike McCarthy, that ain't nothing to really go home and brag on. But it was the pandemic. The team that won the division only won one more game than us. What they want, a cookie? They changed their name 3 or 4 times since then. But it's quite strange to me. The narrative is as soon as the Cowboys get something going, they want to take it down from us. How many years did it take Tom Landry to get his feet wet? I think it took him, 5 or 6 years? And I ain't saying we're going to have to wait for 5 or 6 years for Mike McCarthy. But what I say is this right here. Let that man play out his contract or coach out his contract before y'all swiped or snatched the rug from under him.
That's good enough for me. So go ahead.
All right, we know Mike ain't paying.
We know.
I'm gonna figure out a way to take his money.
All right,
Just
now
leave it up to me.
If Mike McCarthy loses and he's not fired, then I think it's only fair that Sean and I get to and Bobby get.
Well, you know what? I'm not concerned about having. I'm not concerned about.
Let me fast forward a bit.
I'm sorry. Did I give you the impression that Tampa was going to be the better team? No. I'm expecting an implosion. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting an implosion. I'm expecting them to fold beneath the bright lights and the pressure. That's what I'm expecting. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were better, I would give y'all a better chance. It's the fact that Tampa Bay is not that great this year, and people are not expecting much of them. We clearly know the Dallas Cowboys are the better team. They're favored to win this game, and I'm looking at it from that perspective, and I'm saying this is exactly the kind of game they'll fold. This is exactly the kind of uncircumstances that they will fold under. It's what they do. It's what they do. And I anticipate that will happen again. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm not in any way saying that the Dallas Cowboys are inferior to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, oh, by the way, for the state of Texas, I got news for you. It's not like I'm in the strongest position in the world. I went the Cinderella route with TCU, for crying out loud, because I got tired of picking the SEC. And look how that turned out with one of the most embarrassing picks of my career.
All right, let me tell y'all something for those who don't know the art of debating. He got parachute debating skills here, meaning that he got the parachute to securely strap him in. If the Cowboys win, they was favored anyway, man, by 3. Vegas said they was favored. Now, go pay attention to, like, when the analysis of the analysts say who's going to win the game the day of the game. And they're going to say, we all in on Tampa, or we all in on Dallas. But this is how you put this parachute type of debate out there. You know, they leave out certain details. Also, they kind of paint the picture. The Dallas Cowboys, they 0-3 with the Navy Tops. Excuse me, they haven't won in 30 years on the road. Add this in for extra resources and information. Tom Brady himself is 7-0 versus the Cowboys. Let me throw this in to contextualize everything. The Cowboys are 1-4. 1-4. 1-4 on natural grass. You know what I mean? So they put out all of the negatives, right? The Cowboys favored by 3, you know? So that would leverage out anything. So if the Cowboys win, they was favored. But if the Cowboys lose, I told y'all, they haven't won in 30 years. The Cowboys lose. I told y'all, they now 0-4 with Navy Tops. In a must-win game, now Dak Prescott is 1-4. You see, so now that's how they get in front of that. So they have really nobody to refute. They have nobody to refute. So when they say, hey, it's time for Mike McCarthy to go, they didn't have a person that was knowledgeable enough to say, hey, he's missing Anthony Brown for the season. He's missing Jordan Lewis for the season. He missed his left tackle for the season. Just came back, meat falling off the bone. The center in that game was gone. Excuse me. The right tackle, he's gone for the season. Name me another team that went through that this season. You can't find one. The quarterback himself broke his thumb. He was out for 5 games. They inserted a guy that they literally cut. Literally cut. Let me say it again. Literally cut from their roster. All 31 other teams passed up on him, and they brought him back. His name is Cooper Rush, and he won 4 out of the 5 games. You can't get that done. You can't get that done with horrible coaching. I don't care how y'all feel about Mike McCarthy and his clock management. You can't get 4 out of 5 games with horrible coaching. Backup quarterback. You can't get that done. And especially getting rid of Amari Cooper, that had Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson last season. Collectively had 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Passer rating when targeted was 120. You can't get that production out of Noah Brown, who was the 4th or the 5th option last year, who was elevated up to be the 2nd option. But they let somebody come in that don't follow the Cowboys that closely and say, hey, Mike McCarthy got to get it done. I can't make this stuff up.
All of that is true. But when everything else fails, those Dallas Cowboys never let me down. Just be patient. Somehow, some way, they'll find a way. And I've said it on many occasions. And I want you to know that because I tried to tell everybody last year, they were raving about the Cowboys en route to a 12-win season, who went on the air and said they wouldn't even win a playoff game. Weeks in advance. That's what I said. This year, I kind of suspected they would win a playoff game until I learned they would be going up against Tom Brady. And that's when everything changed. And I said, this falls right in line. This is beautiful. And that's what I anticipate, my man. It's coming. Just wait. Just wait.
Stephen A., your boy, Dan Orlovsky.
He's overtaken you as the number one villain in Dallas, by the way.
He put Dak. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He put Dak 12 out of 14 among quarterbacks in the postseason. Now, come on. That's disrespectful, right? Is he trolling us? Is he just trolling us here?
Okay. Well, let's analyze that. Let's
analyze.
Think about this. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we got Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've got Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
We got Daniel Jones. I wouldn't put Daniel Jones ahead of Dak Prescott.
Thank you.
Okay. Then we got Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
I wouldn't put this year I would put him ahead of Dak Prescott because he's had a better year as far as I'm concerned, even though I'm no fan of Kirk Cousins and Dallas blitzed him 40-3. Okay. But we can't just put Dak ahead of him right now. Not with the way Dak's been playing as of late. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we go to
You want us to give you his list?
Let me see if I can find that list right quick. Y'all bear with
me.
Okay. He had obviously the only two behind him were Skylar Thompson and Brock Purdy. Everybody else is ahead of him.
Yeah, so he had, in order, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady, Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins ahead of Dak.
No, I would not put Daniel Jones nor Geno Smith ahead of Dak Prescott, even though Geno Smith statistically has thrown for over 4,000 yards and he's had a breakout season.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put him ahead of Dak Prescott. I wouldn't put Daniel Jones ahead of Dak Prescott. But I got to admit, based on the way Dak has looked with these interceptions, y'all are not in a strong position to be arguing on behalf of that. You do understand that. You're not.
Hey, now that one, I give a thumb up on Stephen A. Smith on that one. We really not in a strong position. Like I said, those interceptions, regardless whether or not it's the wide receiver fault, 1,000% Dak Prescott fault, the offensive coordinator fault. Those records don't go down for those boys, right? Just like we all and say, woo, what a great catch. You know, when a wide receiver catch it, we all say, oh, man, what a horrible drop when he drop it, right? So it comes with the territory. 15 INTs this season, tied for last place or first place in numbers of interceptions. That ain't something where we have a leg to stand on. But what I can say is that wasn't a degree that a lot of people held last season. But we talking about this season. Let me hear what he gonna say afterwards.
Not in that position. Dak's got to step up, and see to me. It's like this. In all seriousness, man, I got a lot of respect for Dak Prescott,
right?
And I'm happy that he got his money. He's the face of the franchise, even though I think Michael Parsons is your best player. I'm of the mindset where Dak Prescott. One of the things that throws me off about people, I'm mindful of those guys, y'all, that always say the right things. You know, they're the quintessential leader at the microphone, but on the field, they leave something out there. Derek Carr is a perfect example. After John Gruden got let go last year by the Raiders because of his whole brouhaha, Derek Carr was the perfect face for the franchise.
Yeah,
said all the right things.
Right.
The right temperament, galvanized the troops under Bisaccia. I mean, did a good job quarterbacking the team, got them to the playoffs before they lost to Cincinnati. We saw all of this, right? But the reality is that when he decided that he was going to give his goodbyes to the Raiders faithful Raider Nation yesterday, I mean, everybody acted like it was a big deal. You've been there 9 years, man. You ain't win one playoff game. Mm-hmm. Let's pump the brakes and put stuff in its proper perspective. You all right. You a decent player. But we ain't throwing funerals and writing epitaphs because, oh my God, Derek Carr is gone. That's just a fact. Because what have you really done? Dak Prescott better be careful because he's getting to that point. We have to look at him and we have to say, we know that he's better. He's had some moments. He's won a playoff game.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, you're the face. You're one of the preeminent faces for America's team. Franchise worth $7-8 billion.
Right.
You got the most popular owner in the sport, if not the sports world. You play at $1 billion playpen, one of the greatest stadiums ever built. We'll be talking about that the way we talk about Roman Coliseum when we're all long and gone.
Yep.
All of this stuff is going on. The stars on the helmet, the best cheerleaders on the planet, and all of this other stuff. But you going home every year.
Yep.
You ain't even making it to a conference championship game. At some point in time, we're going to look at Dak Prescott that way if he ain't careful. Particularly if he continue to play the way he's been playing with these damn interceptions.
All right, so let's go over this right quick. I truly believe that Derek Carr, I kind of like Derek Carr for what he is as a quarterback, and he got some of the things that you can look back at and say, all right, he was lumped into that conversation like a guy with a rocket arm that needed weapons around him and these sorts of things. And they did that for him. They put weapons around him for the last 2 seasons. And the results are the results, right? Derek Carr been in the league 2 years longer than Dak Prescott at this moment. And let me do a quick poll from you guys right quick. Who do you like at quarterback right now? Derek Carr or Dak Prescott? Can you put that down in the chat? Who would you prefer to have right now? And I know it could probably be like, hey, it's the same person, right? But let me know right now, who would you prefer? Who would you prefer? Right now, Dak or Carr? Dak Carr. You know what I'm saying? That would be his name, Dak Carr. You know what I'm saying? All right, so completion percentage, Derek Carr is 64.6. Dak Prescott overall completion percentage is 66.6. As far as passer rating, Derek Carr is 91.8. Dak Prescott is 97.8. So they are numbers pretty close, but not close. When you look at overalls and things like that, Dak Prescott got over 26 rushing touchdowns. Carr got 6. Carr got close to 217 passing touchdowns to 99 interceptions. So he throws a higher clip ratio of INTs per year. Dak Prescott collectively in the overall stats haven't came through yet. 166 touchdowns to 65 INTs. So his ratio of INTs is still like a 1.7, so that put him in top of the league since he's been here. So I don't look at Dak Prescott as a high turnover machine. One thing I can tell you that I hate to use this, but these are the facts. Dude didn't throw a lot of interceptions before in his career. He get a broken thumb, and now he's getting a lot of interceptions. That's one. And then 2 would be some of the interceptions bouncing off the phalanges. Now, as far as the mental mindset of going through your progressions, going through your reads and stuff like that, we seen in that Washington game, he had no business throwing that ball there, right? He had no business throwing that ball there. But somebody who got a gold jacket, and I don't have one, right? Somebody who got a gold jacket named the Playmaker said these things right here, ladies and gentlemen, that Noah Brown ran a horrid route. You know what I'm saying? Dak can't make that throw, but you can't run that route too. So an inconsistent route runner with an inconsistent play call, with an inconsistent quarterback in that particular moment, gonna give you a nice result for the defense. A nice result for the defense. That's all I'm gonna say. I think this is my 1,000 truths on Dak Prescott. I think that he need hard coaching. He don't need peer-to-peer coaching. I truly believe Dak Prescott need hard coaching. He need a coach that get into his face, spit upon him, say, why you throw that ball there, right? I told you to run this play there. You know what I'm saying? I need to have that coaching on the side with him. I need to have it. And Stephen A. Smith right on this point right here. He's buttoned down, dog. Dak Prescott buttoned down. You want to see a little bite. You want to see a little turbulence. A little turbulence. We don't get that from Dak Prescott.
You got to cut down on those mistakes. See, Michael Parsons, we know he's going to show up. Let's not act like we don't know what. I don't give a damn that he ain't had sacks the last couple of games. Or this is Michael Parsons we talking about. That brother going to show up. Trayvon Diggs, I believe in that brother. He going to show up. Hell, DeMarcus Lawrence got to up his game, but I believe in him. I believe whether it's Ezekiel Elliott or Tony Pollard, one of them going to show up. CeeDee Lamb ain't a scrub. What you going to do, Dak Prescott?
It's funny. Lamb was a scrub when Dak Prescott wasn't out there throwing the ball, but now he's not. I want y'all to contextualize that, but let's go.
You the face
Shout
of
to you.
What you gonna do?
Shout out to you, Dwayne. He says, this morning, get up. They broke it down good on Dak. Appreciate you, man. I'll take a look at it.
At some point in time, we got to stop getting caught up. Because, first of all, I've said this about him. And it's not an insult. It's just reality.
Listen to this part right here.
He is one press conference I never listen to. I don't give a damn what Dak Prescott has to say. Give me Dak Prescott from 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. Yo, y'all, he says the same stuff. He ain't saying nothing compelling, nothing interesting, nothing controversial, nothing earth-shattering, nothing that makes you raise your eyebrow and say, whoa, okay, what's he saying here? Nothing intriguing, nothing. The dude is the safest interview on the planet. He going to say all the right things. Okay, fine. So-
All right, hold on, Stephen A. Hold your horses, man. Hold your horses. I want Dak Prescott to have a little turbulence. But he got to know and understand this about Randy Dakota Prescott. What he say echoes throughout all of the world, the universe, the multiverse. Doctor Strange in a whole nother galaxy going to have to adhere to what Dak Prescott say. Law, do you have any truth to this? Yes. He said 3 words and was fined $25,000 when the aficionados was getting trash thrown at them. He said, credit to them. He was talking about the fans, the same fan that threw trash at him too. But he said, credit to them. If that was any other quarterback for any other organization, that wouldn't even been a talking point. They would have probably glossed over that like they do everything else. But the brother said, credit to them. And they fined the man $25,000 off of 3 freaking words without even allowing him to even provide context. They had to squeeze him, and he had to go out there and say, hey, I apologize to the officials. I apologize for this and that. I can only imagine Dak Prescott being boisterous in the press conference. The way I want Dak Prescott to be boisterous is when Noah Brown run the wrong route, or when CeeDee Lamb is running ran a dig instead of a post, or a post instead of a dig. That's when I want him to be boisterous. But dog sure not in those pressers, because they would take his words, squeeze them, and use it against him. So I agree with Dak Prescott on how he handles the media and the press conferences and things like that. Brett Favre had 14 seasons of 15 interceptions or higher, but Brett Favre get labeled as a gunslinger. Yeah, yes, indeed. Brett would turn that ball over, man. Choctaw, it's 669 people in here and only 189 likes, man. What they doing, man?
Shame.
Y'all get them likes up.
Shame. Shame.
Yeah. And Cal, I feel you. But an apologist will only say good things. Ladies and gentlemen, have I gave y'all some negative connotations as it relates to Dak Prescott? Yes or no? Let me know. Let me know. I've been fair and within reason and balance with Dak Prescott. I have. Let me know if I'm wrong. I gave constructive criticisms of Dak Prescott from year to year to year. After year one, I said in 2017, I need Dak Prescott to go through his progressions and climb the pocket better. Did he improve that for year 18? Yes. Year 18, hey, we need to see more out of Dak Prescott. We need to see the man win a playoff game. Oh, did he win a playoff game in 2018? Yes.
So what you gonna do? You gotta win, man. You gotta win. Because you're talented enough to win. We understand you've been through a lot. We respect the hell out of you. I respect him as a man. I respect his talent. I respect his leadership capabilities. But you got to perform.
True that.
And your performance is the one thing that has been lacking. He is on the verge of being Derek Carr, a really good quarterback who's flagrantly not great, devoid of the resume that even tinkers on greatness. That's Dak Prescott.
And lo and behold, granted, this will be a horrible comparison. But there was another quarterback that everybody saw, hey, man, he do really good. He do really good. But, man, he got a good arm. And, you know, he's from Dallas. He's from Texas, Allen, Texas, I believe Matthew Stafford is from. But he can't get a team over the hump. He's trash, y'all. He suck. He's horrid. God, get rid of him. He go to L.A. They surrounded him with weapons, and they birthed a Super Bowl, not just because of him, because he was a turnover machine there, but they had the number one defense. And I'm banging on the table, you guys, and letting y'all know right now, defense win championships. I don't give a dog what anybody say about offense, but defense win championships. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. When their running back went down last year, they didn't sit around and play with their thumbs. They immediately went and got some movements to get another running back in there. See, your team is not a team that's stagnant. Your team is a team that makes sure they go out there and get more and more resources, more and more weapons. But only the Dallas Cowboys do these type of things. They would see an issue, they would see a problem, they would turn a bad eye or a blind eye to it, and they would say, hey, the quarterback's supposed to lift this thing up. We supposed to have the mindset that, hey, there's no excuses. We got everything that's put on the table right now for us to win multiple Super Bowls. With Michael Gallup coming back from ACL injury, there should be no excuses. Noah Brown, he's been here for 6 years. There should be no excuses. No excuses. We drafted a guy, Jalen Tolbert. He will be just as good as DK Metcalf. He's just as good as DJ Moore. He's just as good as such and such. Oh, don't worry about it, y'all. That's okay. We got James Washington. We can cut one of our draft picks, our 5th round draft pick, by the name of Big John Ridgeway, because we got James Washington. Make that make sense. We hustle backwards in so many ways. Whereas even with the whole signing of said players, I would not be surprised if they hold Trayvon Diggs' foot to the fire, if they hold CeeDee Lamb to the fire, because that is the way the Cowboys operate and do business. D-Law had to fight for his country. Name me a player that got his contract who didn't have to fight for it, who didn't have to hold out for it, who didn't have to get smeared across the NFL for the Cowboys. That's just the way we do business. But any other team, we'll wake up, dang, that dude got paid today. The only player that I believe that didn't have to fight for was Jalen Smith. He was the only guy. Everybody else had to fight for their contract. Literally. Via PR. And then we start bringing in worth and value and all of these things. Just wait. Y'all love Parsons now. Y'all going to be ready to chew him up and spit him out in 2 years. Keep up the good work. Shout out to you, Chris. Appreciate you. Oh, man, they should take a hometown discount, home team discount, all of that.
Until further notice.
Last one for you here, Stephen A.
Yeah. Zach Martin, the offensive lineman. They're the only ones. I apologize. The offensive linemen, the offensive linemen. And I heard look, y'all was ready to crucify Tyron Smith. Oh, man, we paid him too much money. The Cowboys signed that man to a 10-year contract. His contract is so dated, y'all don't even look at the numbers. And y'all would be ready to get rid of Tyron Smith last year and the year before that. Dude is taking, literally, a home team discount. Cowboys playing the Vikings NFC Championship. Shout out to you. Mills says 10-3 with 10-3 and outs. 10-3 and outs, right? Basically, right? Last week, offense does that. Yeah, I don't think they do that. They don't do that. Now we do pay players when they hurt. We'll go ahead and pay them. We'll pay them so quick. I vividly remember we paid, of course, we can go back and talk about Michael Gallup. Now, that was just playing Russian roulette, right? Paid that brother $60 million, not even knowing. But they trust the doctors, right? And one can argue that there was a little resistance on that. That's just how that part worked, especially dealing with the Cowboys. But who remember when we paid Tyron Crawford? We paid that brother before even, hey, we going to jump in front of that. It is what it is. Miles Austin, Deion Sanders, yeah. This is Spencer. Appreciate you, my dog. Law, do you think Dak will pull Romo, restructure his contract in the future? I wouldn't want that for a quarterback to restructure his contract and you just pushing money down the line. It's an $89 million dead cap hit next season. 2023. And then the season after that, it's a 39. You might as well round that up to a $40 million dead cap space. And the thing is with Dak Prescott, you got a no trade clause on his contract. No trade clause.
We're all terrified of losing Luka Doncic in this sit.
Okay, they finna talk basketball. We don't care about basketball right now. Appreciate y'all so much for jumping in. Law, don't undo yourself trying to protect Dak. This is John. You have no clue of what I'm talking about, John. Keep up. Just keep up. Just keep up, fam. This is not about protecting Dak Prescott. He'll be long and gone from this team, and I still have the same energy. I got my brothers that know me way before you even knew who Law Nation is. Knew that Law always talked like this. Always. Before Dak, I'm old enough to be Dak's father. Following his team before Jerry Jones bought the team. Just because I look young don't mean I am. This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. The Dallas Cowboys, when you look back at this team, y'all missing the meat worrying about the potatoes. Y'all are missing the meat worrying about the potatoes. They make it an individualized sport when it's not. This thing don't have nothing to do with Dak Prescott. Everything to do about the national media sullying and denigrating this team to a degree whereas they would think that only way that you can win the Super Bowl if you're having an elite quarterback. It don't matter if we can go and pull up Troy and put him back on his team at his optimum youth. If you don't have the pieces, he will not get it done. Let me repeat, he will not get it done. You got to have stern coaching, hard coaching. Jimmy Johnson didn't let Troy have a comfortable bed. He didn't. But the Mandela effect, when y'all start watching the highlights and you're too young to remember, you would say, man, Troy was faultless. He didn't make mistakes. Bull sugar. Multiple mistakes were made by the playmaker. Multiple mistakes were made by Emmett. But when you get to the playoff, everything condenses. everything condenses. So everything is magnified. So when we go play on Monday night, we got to have that coach tell Dak, hey, we can't have turnovers on our own side of the field, and we got to play complementary football. I don't care who Dak is. I don't care. He can't turn the ball over. Live to fight another day, punt the ball away. And when we were receiving the punt on the opposite situation, Kevontae Turpin, I don't care if you first team All-Pro. You can't muff that. You can't put us in strange situations. You can't. Play the field. You can't be scared, too. That is the truth of it. But what the fantasy football league done did to most people, they got people who say that they down for the Cowboys, ride for the Cowboys, looking at other teams, seeing what other teams are doing with their wide receivers and how they get their fantasy points, and they're mad. Nobody wants to win the game by running the ball. We want to win the game in style and finesse. And not knowing that other teams get it out of the mud and it's just a back page of the news handle. The Colts beat the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs got the best record, or one of the best records in the league. How many points we beat the Chiefs? How many points we beat the Colts by, ladies and gentlemen? Can somebody put that down? Help your boy out. The Texans, they gave the Chiefs a run for their money in that game. It wasn't a walk in the park. But if you guys have tunnel vision and only look at this game as a vacuum, you would think that the Cowboys are the only team in the National Football League that struggle against teams that's below 500. But Lord, man, what about that Washington team, man? They had the scrubs back there, man. They only held you guys to 6 points. You really think that, all right, so the Washington team is that great. You think they're going to sweep us next year? You think that was the game plan for the Cowboys? Oh, man, they don't scoreboard watch, man. They don't do that. Look, I was sitting here watching from the broadcasting view. They had a big old screen up there letting everybody know what the score was. Like I said before in my Uncle Charles voice.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight. Everything will be all right on any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you.
But the only team that lose, I want you guys to do your own independent homework, and you will literally see that every single talking head is saying that, hey, it's a must-win game for the Cowboys. It's a, hey, do or die for the Cowboys. It's a, hey, we're going to fire the head coach. What will be the plan? You are willing to rip apart everything that we done built over here for these last 3 years to say, all right, maybe we bring in another coaching staff, keep Kellen Moore, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to end up keeping Kellen Moore and say, okay, we're going to bring in another coach. It don't matter who we bring in. We can go into the grave and bring Tom Landry back. If Jerry Jones don't get out of the way and let these coaches coach, it will be the same results. Let these coaches coach, man. We still looking for a DB on the opposite side of Trayvon Diggs, when all we had to do was pick up the phone call before the trade deadline. Did Anthony Brown got injured before or after the trade deadline? Can somebody let me know? Now, we got all high hopes on Xavier Rhodes. And I can spit out this, and I'm not an Xavier Rhodes apologist, but these are facts. He didn't allow over 100 receiving yards on him in 3 years. Those are facts. One of the hardest positions to play in the National Football League is also nickel corner. When Jordan Lewis went down, Jordan Lewis was a good enforcer against the run. He come down the field, he's scrappy. He's not the best in coverage in all ways, but at least he's feisty enough. Quite strange that once he went gone, we elevated DaRon Bland, and I like what DaRon Bland brings to the table. I'm not saying that he's sus against the run, but there's something about alignments and assignment. Do we have more interceptions out of him? Yes. We get viewed upon. We don't get the benefit of the doubt because we are the Cowboys. We held to a different standard, which is okay. What's good for the goose, good for the gander, right? But I'm here to at least balance things out to my best ability. To check out that full episode, be sure to click that link. I just posted it in the chat area right there. Odyssey.com. So you can listen to the full Stephen A. Smith interview. Let me pull up my Twitter right quick. Got to show you something. All right, so let me give y'all the play-by-play. My guy Jay Tuck, I appreciate what he do for the nation and everything. He said if you sit Shady McCoy, that's who cut on a dime 25 is, and Emmanuel Ocho at the same table, let's say with a Vach or a Law Nation, it would be borderline embarrassing. I'll bet 2 bands, that's 2 racks. Right now, my dogs would cook them with no notes, no nothing. And then, of course, I got my guy, you know what I'm saying? Vach and we was walking in Oxnard. All eyes on me, right? You know what I'm saying? Nah, they wouldn't allow that. Us to embarrass them on national TV, they wouldn't allow that. But I penned this right here because Emmanuel, he says, only on Twitter will you find people who are less intelligent, less accomplished, less athletic, telling you you're unintelligent, unaccomplished, and unathletic. And that's Emmanuel Archo. Now, it hit me like a sack of bricks of knowledge. That's what they do? Because I for dogs sure know that Skip Bayless ain't taking nobody down to the hole, right? Shooting trays. And I know for sure Colin Cowherd don't even probably know what a 9 route is, right? Or a bang 8. I'm quite sure Stephen A. Smith don't have any levels of athleticism, right? And if I'm understanding this correctly, Emmanuel Archo, when you say those things, that's kind of like painting yourself into a corner. Because I understand this, that you played in the National Football League. And you now talk about people that's more accomplished than you, that's more intelligent than you on the field as it relates to what they do between the hash marks or what have you. And you talk about people that's more athletic than you. So that is, my friend, an idiotic tweet. It should have been taken down. You know what I'm saying? But I can't tell a grown man what to do. So write this down. Validation is only good for parking. People will like to put people in boxes. People will. And the game is being watered down now because people tend to do this at ESPN, the 4-letter, the 3-letter network, and say, well, I played the game. I played the ball. Not knowing that there are many people who probably took a different route. You know what I'm saying? After they got their degrees, after they done finished up school. You know what I'm saying? Then went into other avenues to make resources and remunerations for their family. So I would never relegate or say to a fan that, man, you unathletic, you unintelligent, you less accomplished. I wouldn't even say that without putting the word collectively on there, right? Because that's just what it is. But what I can tell off of that tweet, emotional damage, that somebody got hit by emotional damage. That's just what happened there. Somebody struck a nerve in him. He needs some milk. Because come on, man. Come on.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Come on.
Come on, man.
Because I don't know, did Acho make first team All-Pro? Did Acho make second team All-Pro? You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. Athleticism has nothing to do with knowledge. Ain't that right, Alex? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Right. He's right on that. And some of the people, you'll be surprised, who know the game, but was in some type, shape, form of an uncomfortable position in life, right? You know, some people are intelligent enough to understand that, but not everybody, right? But Twitter is a unique platform, whereas you got multitudes of people that spit their rhetoric, and I get it, right? If you allow them to get under your skin, they will get under your skin. And I would tell you guys this right here, and granted, it's all fun and game, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. When I'm lifted off from this dimension, I would tell you guys, success is relative. But I'm for dogs should know I'm successful, right? Because there's no one in my gene pool or my family did the things or accomplished the things that I've done, right? So I know that when it's time for me to start pushing up daisies, or when it's time for me to go into the urn and be on to the next duties in life, I would sit back and say, you know what, I was successful, man, for the things that I've done here, right? That's how you got to look at it, y'all, you know. And opinions. Those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. And opinions from someone, don't allow their opinion shape your reality. Don't allow that, y'all. That's just the reality of it altogether. Let those people have their voices to be heard. That's why I say even here, I value you guys' opinion, but the ones that I would consider the most are the people that I know, not somebody that I don't know. And that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand. When we say that, hey, we are a diehard fan, and they yelling out, hey, man, y'all may be diehard, but y'all delusional. You know what I'm saying? Y'all crazy. Just as Jon Snow is right here. He got to be delusional. He got to be crazy. He got to be off his, you know what, his meds. To think that one sword are going to stop those 4 or 5 white horses coming at him. Multitude of people on horses, right, with swords. Come on, y'all. You know? That's what you mean. That's what you mean when you say you're a diehard fan. Now, when you're a casual fan, you know, when you're just a fan of the game, you're not willing to die for it. You'll put that sword down. You will say, hey, man, I get on my knees. Off with my head. That's why I say you fall still fighting. But what Stephen A. Smith and some of the other pundits and critics did, they used the word delusional and they weaponized it. Now you will say, when my team is going to win, now you the person that's delusional, right? When all you are is just a man that's fighting for your team, defending your home, even though the forces are against you. It's called unconditional love. Yeah, love without conditions. Right, Alex? That's a good one there, Alex. That's a real good one. Real good one. It's unconditional. And as real as the sky is blue. And as real as everything is around here, you know, tangible things that you can touch, you know.
It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Yes, indeed. And also.
So it look like I'm going to be around here for a while. Mm-hmm. I ain't trying to be your daddy or nothing. But if you need some advice, feel free to talk to me.
Talk to me, man. Y'all know how it goes. on my way out, if I go live a little later, we'll do the interactive show where you guys call in and give me your thoughts and opinions on who's going to win the game or who's going to lose the game and these sorts of things. I may get my brother on so we can talk about the Niners and stuff like that, what they're going to do. Got to do who's going to win the game, lose the game for this week. Yeah. Every other fan, die hard. Us, delusional. Yeah, holla. See, they like to put that on us. They like to say that, hey, there's no chance. Right? Even when the Titanic was going down, there was a few people that survived. Not everybody perished. Right? When 9/11 happened, not everybody perished. Man, it changed the world. Some people were still fighting. Some people were still running. Some people were saying that, you know what? I'm gonna go back into this thing to save a life. Firemen's running into a burning building. That's why they say some of the people that make the less money in the world are your heroes. All the people that's less accomplished. That's why I look good to the people that looked after me when I was growing up. My track coach, my goodness, I wouldn't be here to this day if it wasn't for his words of encouragement. He was a hard coach. Shout out to Doc Woods, may he rest in peace. Taught me some valuable lessons in life that I still use to this day. I don't think that Natchez High paid that man over $28,000 a whole year. Some people make that in a day or in a month. Jamie says, what time you starting later, Law? I don't know yet. So, validation is only good for parking, ladies and gentlemen. I remember one president asked this to all. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Those words are heavy till this day, still to this day. Ask not what the Cowboys can do for you in the barbershop or in the hallway. But where are my dogs at? Where are my people at? What you can do for the Cowboys?
Spartan! What is your profession? This is Sparta!
I recall when the LOB, the Legion of Boom, when they was in a height and they started that name, the 12th man. The fans thought that they were so much into it that they could control the outcome of the game, at least at home. They would make so much noise that it would shake the earth. And people would say, hey, the opposing team can't get out their plays. Why? Because they had some die-hard fans. They had some fans that believed in them. Even when they were down, they fan base thought that they can make a difference. What if I told you that the Cowboy fan base quadrupled their fan base? But by the 4-ladder to 3-ladder network, we don't believe like their fan base did. We don't hold it down like their fan base did. We don't cause earthquakes or ricochet to be heard all around or felt all around the world because we don't believe. Anthony Gallup says, just getting here, have a glorious day, Law. Yeah. So write this down. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you and your hold all other things taut in your cheek, If life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, or lose all terror of your mind for it, if you will simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty or famish or fame or sickness of your body or brain can turn you away from the things you want. If dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty, guess what, Cowboy Nation? Just like my guy Emmett, you will get it. Shout out to Emmett Smith, baby. We out. Salute. Remember what I said now. Validation is only good for parking. I love y'all. I ain't yelling at you. I'm just passionate about mine. You know? I'm delusional about mine. I'm crazy about mine. You know? I'm insane about mine. So yes, let's go. Turn a negative into a positive, baby.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah.
Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let's get it. Appreciate you, Bay Way. Dwayne Brown, get down. Appreciate you, Michelangelo. Choctaw, Montana. Let's go. DC for life. Let's go. Miles, Big Rig, Jamie, Gallup, Cowboy Smooth. It's about loyalty, baby. Come on.
You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
I got 50. Say yeah. Y'all would embarrass them on Mom. Appreciate you. Big Rig, I didn't see that coming through. Shout out to you for that big old super chat. Cowboys advancing, baby. We just got to play smart football, y'all. Appreciate you again, Big Rig. And shout out, I forgot to give shout outs to my Facebook people. Salute to y'all, man. James Brown predicted Cowboys 34-17. Thank you for your stars. That's what we want to do, baby. Come on. Shout out to you, Trey, for the 50 stars. On y'all way out, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Street lights gonna hit ya. Fire speech, appreciate you, Kenny G. Complimentary football. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Yep. Michael Parsons. Don't let that get in your head. Let's give him unbelievable football time. Yeah.
Big Reg $49.99. I got 50 say yeah, y'all would embarrass him on mom.
Let's go.
Big Reg $49.99. I got 50 say yeah, y'all would embarrass him on mom. Cowboys move $2. Ain't no party like a party, Brady gonna find out. Cowboys move $2. Ain't no party like a party, Brady gonna find out. Anthony Gallup $2. Just getting here, have a glorious day, law. DCF in 1973 $2. Cowboys play the Vikings NFC Championship. DCF in 1973 $2. Cowboys play the Vikings NFC Championship. Choctaw Montana 808 $2. Yes, very fair criticism. Choctaw Montana 808 $2. Yes, very fair criticism.
Get through these super chats. I appreciate you, AI.
Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
You have to be your biggest fan. And
Choctaw Montana 808 $5. It's 669 watching, only north of 189. Thumbs up, yo, y'all get those likes up. Michelangelo Hermoso $5. Brett Favre had 14 seasons of 15 and or higher. But Favre gets labeled a gunslinger.
No doubt.
Bewee. $5. Let's go Cowboy Nation. Let's get hyped, let's get that feeling going, because we cannot be stopped. We are not scared of a fight.
because you don't know who you're gonna meet.
Bewee. $5. Let's go Cowboy Nation. Let's get hyped, let's get that feeling going, because we cannot be stopped. We are not scared of a fight. Bewee. $10. Dallas 28, Tampa 19. F nervous. It is our time.
She said F nervous. Let me hear her one more time say F nervous. She sounds so good when she say that. Oh, girl. F nervous. Where's she at? Come on, say that again, lady. Now.
Bewee. $10. Dallas 28, Tampa 19. F nervous. It is our time.
DC for life, y'all. We about. There's all of the super chats. I thank y'all. I may do this format all through the off season, and I'm still working on the AI. So she gonna get better and better as time goes around. But I appreciate y'all so much. Let's go and let's Cowboys move. End it out with once again.
Cowboys move $2. Ain't no party like a party, Brady gonna find out.
No doubt. It's our time, baby.
So it look like I'm gonna be around here for a while. I ain't trying to be a daddy or nothing. But if you need some advice, feel free to talk to me.
Biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to